Yo, what's up guys, this is Sick. Today I'm gonna show you 10 quick Serum tips. So yeah, let's not waste time and let's start. So number 1, make mono Reeses. So usually when you make Reeses, you do this when you just detune a saw wave. Which is okay, but when you wanna have mono compatibility, it's gonna sound a bit bad. When we just turn down the width of the oscillator here, it will sound like this, which is not perfect. So what you can do, you can open another oscillator with the same octaves. So I pitched mine down -2, and just detune them both, like -30. It depends on how much you want. And this is mono, so I think it definitely sounds better, and you can just use a dimension expander from Serum and make the sounds a bit wider. They will still sound great in mono. Another thing, when you do this with the detune, I highly suggest to remove the fundamental frequency, which is this one. And you will just add a sub in. So that way at least the low end of the sound will be mono and be more controlled. So my next tip is using Flanger or phaser effect at 0 rate. I'm gonna show you what I mean by this. So let's open a Flanger, the rate down to 0, because usually you use the Flanger like this. So just turn down the rate. So it basically won't move, and you can adjust the feedback and the depth and the phase of the sound. Same with phaser, which I like more using this. You can add a bit of talkiness into the sound with phaser, and you have a lot of more control and a lot of more possibilities will like open to you. So definitely try that out. So next tip, let's suppose you made this cool sound. So, and you want to freeze it, or, you know, just save it as a sample. Serum has that cool thing, when you go to the left, you see the drag export button. Just click it and drag it, and there you have it in audio. So my next tip is modulate simple wavetables with a bit more complex ones. Basically when you modulate, like I have it here, you frequency modulate the oscillator B with oscillator A. That's cool, that's a good technique, I use it too, but I think it's way more cool to do it the other way around. So I have this sound from my supersonic flip. Basically what I do here, you see I've got this sine wave on oscillator A, and I'm adding FM from oscillator B, which is the more complex wave. The thing which makes me want to do it is that you have a bit more possibilities. So you can use basically what I use here, band plus minus, which without the sound it will sound a bit dull. But you know, when I add it, it's way better. So that's what you're missing out. You can change the wavetable and modulate the wavetable in different ways. For example, add an SM plus, and you have a different sound. So next tip, adding fifths and thirds for more harmonics. So suppose you have this sound, which is cool and stuff, but I think it lacks some harmonics on the top. So what we can do, we can add an oscillator. I have it already prepared here because it's one of my Serum presets. And as you can see, I added a fifth. I think it made it a lot better. And you can also add a third. You can use it on your bass lines, on your synths, anywhere, but I suggest doing it on bass lines as it kind of works the best. Next tip is to add resonance to your filters, and as you can see on this sound that I showed on the previous tip, I'm using a filter from the multi-selection, and I'm using resonance. Without the resonance, the sound will be like this, and when adding those resonance frequencies, it sounds like this. If you're not using this, you're missing out a lot on like making tall key sounds, as resonance does that, and you can mess around with this and create crazy sounds. You can create some whistle sounds just by adding resonance, you know? When you're planning on making like growls or talking bass lines, just add some kind of resonance that's modulating, and it's gonna sound a lot more interesting. So my next tip is to make sounds more consistent in Serum. Let's suppose we have this sound. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but each hit of the sound sounds a bit different, mainly the low end, but all around it sounds just a bit different. So if you want to have a consistent sound, turn the rand knob all the way down. As you can see, it brings the random start of the phase down. So it will eliminate randomness, and it's gonna sound all the same and start exactly at the same place. Like the wave is gonna start exactly where you place it, for example, just at the beginning of the wave. Therefore, you can, just mess with the phase. My next tip is to modulate distortion for a cleaner sound. So we have this huge ass Serum over here. I don't know why I made it so big, but whatever. So we have this sound. And as you can see, I'm modulating the envelope of the drive. And you may ask why, and that's what's the tip about. So let's remove it. So as you can hear, the sound is getting a bit more distorted in the parts where I don't need it, which is when the filter comes down a bit. That's not really what I want. So I want the sound to be a bit cleaner. So I turn the drive down and just modulate the drive of the distortion. I think that sounds much better. You can do this for basically anything in Serum, but I think the distortion and probably the dimension is the best place to do it. When you want to have width just on the top of the sound and not of the release. In my opinion, it makes the sound much more cleaner. So my next tip is to use SerumFX. If you don't have enough effects from Serum already on your preset, then I think it's really good to use it, because first thing, you save a lot of space in your mixer, and second thing, it's just really good because like the filters from Serum are just awesome, and you can trigger even the LFOs and the envelopes while turning this note latch on, as you can see. And you just can use a lot of stuff from here. I like to use this dimension expander from here, so it's just up to you like what you want to use, because the effects are really good in Serum. But yeah, all in all, I think it's really good to use. So my last tip is to use a really low oscillator to frequency modulate, or just modulate anything, but I like to use the FM from it. So let's take the sub oscillator for that, turn it 4 octaves down, and turn the level down, and take the frequency modulation from sub. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, it makes the sound wobble a bit in pitch. You can use it to do that, basically. It can be used in many creative ways. I used it in many of my presets, and yeah, I think it's pretty fun. You can make even like cool effects with this. For example, like modulate this to make like a riser. This is just with modulating the FM from the sub. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I just wanted to show it. It's nothing really useful, but yeah, it's just cool. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have really nice holidays with your family. Take time off, just relax, and yeah, enjoy. Ciao, ciao.